All right, see this chemistry question. If 30 cm cube of oxygen diffuses through a porous pot in 7 seconds, how long will it take 60 cm cube of chlorine to diffuse through the same porous pot? If the vapor densities of oxygen and chlorine are 16 and 36 respectively. So this is a question on gas law. So this, you need to go and study about kinetic theory of gas. So particularly you need to know about the gas law. So at this point, as a JAM student, you need to know about those gas law, like those 8 gas law. I mean Boyle's law, Charles' law, general gas law, ideal gas equation, Graham's law of diffusion, Gay-Lussac law, Avogadro's law, Dalton's law of partial pressure. You need to know those laws in your head, and you need to know their application. Now, the best one, the one that we suitably go for this, is Graham's law of diffusion, which states that the rate of diffusion of gas is inversely proportional to its density. So, from Graham's law, we are able to see that rate of diffusion of gas is inversely proportional to 1 all over square root of, is inversely proportional to the square root of its density. That is, R is inversely proportional to 1 all over root D. Now, so I don't really need to show all this. At the end of the day, we are able to derive that R1 all over R2 will be equal to square root of D2 over root D1. This same will be equal to time T2 all over T1. That is the time it takes the second gas over the time it takes the first gas. So you need to know. And at the same time, mass, the molecular mass of the second one all over the molecular mass of the first one. So once you know all this formula, you are good to go in this question. And another thing that you need to remember that will help you is that rate of diffusion is equal to volume of gas all over the time it takes. So that means for the first gas, which is oxygen, and the second gas is chlorine. So that means the rate of diffusion of, so anywhere we see, okay, that means for oxygen, we have R naught, that is V naught all over T naught. Then for chlorine, we have RC, which will be equal to VC all over TC. So let's try to generate something interesting here. So let me divide the board here. I think I can use the other part of the board. Let's go. So now, from here, I will know that the rate, since I know that I want to relate rate of diffusion of gas with time, because that's what I have here. So rate of diffusion of oxygen over rate of diffusion of chlorine. So that will give me V naught over T naught divided by VC all over TC. So this is, the formula for rate of diffusion is V naught, V over T. So for oxygen, V naught over T naught all over VC over TC. And that will be equal to time it takes this. So which is, I can relate it to this. Can relate it to the vapor density. That's square root of D2 all over square root of D1. So D2 will be chlorine and D1 will be oxygen. So from here, I can substitute all what I have to get what I need. So let's go. Now, the question gives me, so from here I can derive something. Can derive that V naught all over T naught, V oxygen all over T oxygen divided. So division will change to multiplication. And then I will have TC coming up all over VC. That will be equal to square root of what? DC all over square root of DO. So now let's substitute what we have. With this formula that I just derived, I can get my answer directly. So V naught, that's V, the volume of oxygen. The volume of oxygen is 30 cm cube. I'll put 30 all over time it takes, that is 7. Multiply by time it takes chlorine, that's what we are finding, that's TC. All over volume of chlorine, that's 60 from the question, and that will be equal to the density of chlorine from the question. The density of chlorine is given as 36 and the density of oxygen is given as 16. So from here, we can simplify and get our answer. First of all, 30 here 1, 30 here 2. So here we have TC all over 2 times 7, that will be 14, equal to square root of 36 is 6, and square root of 16 is 4. So from here, I will have TC equal to 6 all over 4. If you multiply both sides by 14 times 14. So from here, T naught will be equal to what? So 2 here, 2, 2 here, 7, 2 here, 1, 2 here, 3. So 3 times 7 will give me 21 seconds. So that means the correct answer for this particular question is 21 seconds. Check the options. You see that option C is the correct answer. Thank you. God bless you.